horrible, horrible place that was like sleeping in a sauna of hell. So after my nightmare experience with staying in hostels, I have decided I'm only gonna stay in Airbnbs from now on, and I found a really nice Airbnb. It's actually just a private room, but it's literally the same price as staying in, is that lighting better? Sorry, it's so bright. It's actually the same price as staying in a hostel that was located in Bordeaux. So it just made more sense to stay in like a private room and have my own space. And this lady's house was so lovely, and she was so kind and so nice. And she has a beautiful apartment with like a beautiful terrace, and it's been really nice to stay here. So I highly recommend if you don't like one of the things I've really learned is that I really value my privacy and I value sleep a lot. People at hostels tend to be like out all night or partying or like just noisy and disrespectful, and like I also am a little bit of a germaphobe, and I really like cleanliness and yeah, shared washrooms and stuff like that. I was surprised at how gross girls can be. Like, are you kidding me? You guys are supposed to be like clean, beautiful humans. Ew. But anyways, so yeah, this is the place. Super nice. And this is the room. So I had a little like desk, little bedding's being washed because I'm actually leaving right now. And then the terrace was out here. So she had like a really beautiful, like big, huge balcony that wraps around, and I could have my breakfast here every morning, relax and have my coffee there, have like a beautiful view. And the sunset was so nice over there every night. Right now it's the morning. But yeah, I strongly recommend doing the Airbnb thing. I'm just like, okay, now I can say that I've tried to stay in that I've stayed in hostels when I was in my 20s, and I'm gonna advise people like against it. You know what, if it's okay, sort of like a crazy like giant pimple here. If you're just staying for like a night or two and it's like an emergency, or you're just going to a city and like you want to try to be as budget as possible, then there's some that are okay. Like some of the ones that I stayed in had like private curtains and like their own little lamp, and that was all right. It wasn't horrible, but I did feel like I was in like a little cave, and like, I don't know, I'm like in a coffin for like 4 nights, like just not my thing. So I've been traveling now for 18 days, and I stayed in hostels for the first 2 weeks straight, like all over the place, and no, like no, just I'm not doing it again. So I had originally planned to like stay in hostels for the whole month of July, and then in August I rented an Airbnb, just a solo whole apartment by myself in Greece, and then in September I rented a whole apartment to myself in Italy, and so I had planned I was gonna stay in hostels for the whole month of July. Cannot do it, it was just horrendous. So I canceled those. I found this place here in Bordeaux, and now I'm going to Sarlat, and then I'm going to in the Dordogne Valley. Sorry, I'm like really bad at saying these names. But and then I'm going, and that's also an Airbnb private room, and then I'm staying in Marseille and Nice, and those are both in private rooms too. So I'm excited about those, and honestly they were the same prices as staying in a hostel, like the same price, and then you get your own privacy, you get your own, you know, everything, you get like, it's clean, it's your own spot. Like that's my thing. I like to be able to work, I like to be able to relax, I like to be able to read, I like to be able to enjoy myself, I like to have a kitchen where I can cook food. There was 2 hostels I stayed in where they didn't even have a kitchen. What am I supposed to do? Like eat out every night? Eat gross garbage food? Like, no. So yeah, I highly recommend staying in Airbnbs. Airbnbs are the way to go. And I'm gonna actually post in the description box below a code, and you can actually get $20 off your first stay at an Airbnb. So you're welcome. And then it also gives me $20 off a stay at an Airbnb too, which is very useful as I travel around the world. Woo! But yes, so definitely hostels, can't do it. can't do it, man. On my night in Bordeaux, my first night at the hostel here, so during the World Cup game, which I'm gonna link that video too, because the World Cup game was amazing. I was in France and France won. Champions de le monde. It was so crazy. It was the FIFA World Cup. It was so awesome. But also too, though, like, it would have been cool if Croatia won, because Croatia has never like won for like, I can't remember how many centuries, like 40 years, not centuries, decades. But yeah, so anyways, I got locked out of the hostel and I had to actually like stay in the lobby for like a few hours and then find an empty bed. And this hostel in Bordeaux is called School Hostel. It was horrendous. There was like no locks on the doors. So after I finally was able to get into the hostel, I actually just had to open different doors and find a bed that was empty because they had locked all my baggage away. The office closed at 8 p.m. and I got there at 9:30 p.m. and I was locked out, and they had all my stuff locked in because I had arrived earlier at like 11:30 in the morning, and he told me to come back anytime after 5 to check me in, and he locked my bags up in the office, which was nice, you know, so I could go and explore. But then it was the World Cup game, so I ended up staying out and watching the World Cup, going out and celebrating, and coming back at like 9:30 ready to like crash and go to bed because it was a long day, and they were closed. And I couldn't even get into the hostel. Like, what kind of a place doesn't have an office that's open? And the emergency contact phone number was out of service. So I had to sit in the lobby and then find an empty bed and then sleep in an empty bed in my dirty old clothes, unable to brush my teeth, sweaty. It was so hot in there. It was claustrophobic. It was horrible. Nobody in that room slept at all that night. It was awful. And then I had to wait until 9 a.m. when they opened the office so that I could actually get my stuff out. And I was like wide awake at like 6 a.m. because it was too hot. And I was like, I need to brush my teeth and I need to wash my face and I need to like change my clothes, have a shower. And so this is my huge rant, but it was horrendous. And when I finally got checked in, he would only refund me for like half my stay. So I basically paid like 60 euros for one night at this horrible, horrible place that was like sleeping in a sauna of hell. And I didn't even have my stuff, and it was just awful. So after that, I like spent the early morning hours while I waited from like 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. for them to open the office, so I could get my stuff and just like flee. I was ready to take no money back. I just wanted to get out of there. I found and canceled all my other hostel bookings for the next 2 weeks, and I found and replaced them with all Airbnbs that looked really nice. And I went for like super cleanliness, female owned and operated, and in the French Riviera I looked for ones that were near the beach. So that is my rant over hostels versus Airbnb. There's no need to say anymore. I mean, like, if you want to stay in hostels because you're like a 22-year-old guy and you want to party, or you're like here from Australia and you just want to like drink and have fun, and you're with your friends and you all want to stay in the same group or something, stay in the same room, that's a totally different story. That's awesome. Have fun, do you. If you're like, you know, an almost 30-year-old entrepreneur who's like traveling around and working from their computer and wanting sleep and goes to bed at like 10 at night or 11, and gets up at like 7 and wants sleep and cleanliness and privacy, don't stay at hostels. Okay, that is all. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope that you enjoy watching my travels. I'm super excited to, you know, travel down to the French Riviera in a few days, and then I'm going to Greece, and I'm going all over the world because I'm traveling for the next 2 years at least. Who knows where I'll end up falling in love with and staying and living. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can see more videos like this, and then if you click the little bell notification in the corner down there somewhere, then you'll actually see when I get new videos are posted, so then you can actually follow along. And check out my playlists too. I'll post them here at the end of the video somewhere, so that you can actually watch my journey from the beginning, from day one. Love you guys. Bye.